The September Apple event is all but official, and there are many exciting products set to launch really soon. New iPhone 13 models, new redesigned MacBook Pros, an all-new iPad mini, and a couple of other one more things that could be a really big deal. Now that we're just about a month away from this fall Apple event, I thought now would sort of be a great time to break down the 8 most exciting Apple products expected to launch sometime this fall. We're of course gonna get new iPhone models, new redesigned Macs, AirPods, iPads. There is something in this video for everyone to get excited about. And a big thanks to Incipio for sponsoring this video. After a very abnormal year last year in 2020, Apple is definitely back on track here in 2021, and if the rumors and news reports are true, they could certainly end 2021 with a bang and release 8 to 10 new products without even batting an eye, and still having plenty of new stuff to show off in the coming months in 2022. But what are the specifics? What could we actually see launch in the September timeframe, and what is there to really get excited about? Let's kick things off with a product that has been rumored for many months, and that is AirPods 3. Now, believe it or not, AirPods 2 launched all the way back in March of 2019, which seems now at this point like centuries ago. According to the rumors, the big difference here with AirPods 3 is the design. Apple is sort of looking to adopt the design language of the AirPods Pro and bring that over to AirPods 3 with a very similar shorter stem and a very similar charging case to what we have on AirPods Pro, now coming to the regular AirPods 3. But the big point of contention here is not so much the design of the case or the stems, it's really the design of the part that goes into your ear. What is that part called? There's essentially some controversy on whether or not Apple is going to adopt silicone tips like what we have with AirPods Pro, or stick with just sort of a regular speaker grill like what we saw on AirPods 1 and what we have right now on AirPods 2. Some people really love the way that the silicone tips fit into your ear. They fit much better than basically the regular AirPods ever did, while others don't like that sort of pressure it creates. It could be uncomfortable. And if you believe the alleged leaked photos, it looks like Apple is not going to do silicone tips this time around and just sort of stick with the standard in-ear functionality that we have with AirPods 1 and AirPods 2, bringing that over and I guess keeping it the same on AirPods 3. But besides that big redesign, what other features could we really see on AirPods 3? Some have speculated that we could see Apple take some of the flagship features of AirPods Pro and bring those down the line to the regular AirPods, like active noise cancellation, transparency mode, spatial audio. Maybe as AirPods Pro get an update sometime next year, we could sort of bring some of those features down to regular AirPods 3, though some of that makes sense while some of it doesn't. Active noise cancellation and transparency mode certainly seem to me like more pro-end features and something Apple would want you to pay a premium for, so it sort of makes sense on why they'd want to keep those pro-specific. But spatial audio is an interesting one because we've seen Apple really tout this on Apple Music, on Apple TV Originals. Even more and more third-party streaming apps are starting to support spatial audio, and seeing as it's an important part of the Apple ecosystem, it does sort of make sense that they'd want to put spatial audio support in as many products as possible, including AirPods 3. Another product that has been getting a lot of controversy in the Apple rumor mill lately is the 6th generation iPad mini that is also set to debut sometime before the end of the year. Now, some analysts believe that the iPad mini is in for a major redesign, that the screen is going to get significantly slimmer bezels, the home button is going to get out of there, replaced by Face ID or maybe Touch ID built into the power button, and basically this device is going to look a lot more modern, sleek, futuristic, sort of like the iPad Pro and the iPad Air, and much less like the older iPad design we saw years and years ago. This would definitely be a nice modern upgrade for the iPad mini, but not all are sold on that thought process. Some analysts believe that we're just going to get a spec bump on the iPad mini, no major redesign is coming, but again, this is all going to depend on who you choose to trust and believe. According to analysts like Ming-Chi Kuo, the iPad mini could get actually a larger display, going to an 8.5 or 9-inch display with much slimmer bezels. You would get rid of that home button to give you a little bit more of that display to work with. You could see significantly better speakers on the iPad mini, the switch from Lightning over to USB-C, and all of this would be powered by Apple's latest and greatest flagship processor, the A15 Bionic, that is also set to go into the iPhone 13 lineup as well. And this sort of does make sense if Apple was to sort of release this new iPad mini alongside the new iPhone 13 models. You'd sort of show off this flagship processor in the iPhones and also show what it can do on the iPad mini as well. It does sort of make a lot of sense, though again, other analysts speculate that we're getting too excited for something that's not gonna happen, and the iPad mini is going to get just a much smaller upgrade. So hopefully the former is true and not the latter. It's definitely time for Apple to do something, and hopefully we see that upgrade come much sooner than later. Next up, let's talk about the product that everybody loves to hate, and that is the iPhone 13. Now, if you want to know every little detail of that phone, what could change, what could not change, what features will be there, won't be there, all that stuff, we're gonna link to a video down below where I go hands-on with the official dummy models of the iPhone 13 series. But in this video, since I've already got so much to talk about and I've already talked this long, let me just kind of give you the highlights of the 13 series this year. We are not expecting any major design change to come to the iPhone 13 series this year. These phones are gonna look very similar, if not almost exactly the same, to their counterparts of the iPhone 12 series that we got in 2020. Really nothing here on the outside that makes these phones look new, besides probably some new colors, and specifically the camera hump on the phones. You'll notice also that the 13 and 13 mini have a diagonal camera system this year, rather than a vertically stacked camera system that we've seen on those phones in the past couple of years. Some speculate that this is because Apple is putting sensor shift stabilization in all phones this year, including the 13 and 13 mini, and they need more space. Looking on the inside, all these phones should get all the minor improvements you'd expect with an S year, a new A15 processor, better batteries, bigger batteries specifically as well, Wi-Fi 6E support, 5G improvements, all the stuff you'd really expect. And really, we expect the flagship features to be on the Pro models, on the Pro and Pro Max, with a new LTPO backplane display that should allow for a couple of really cool things. One is that ProMotion, 120 Hz refresh rate, should finally come to the 13 Pro and Pro Max, finally at long last. And also these phones could also give us an always-on display as well. Maybe something super simple, super minimalistic, sort of what we have on the Apple Watch could come to the Pro and Pro Max of the 13 this year, though that is still up for debate. And also, let me just make it clear and kind of break some hearts. No Touch ID is expected this year on the iPhone 13 series. It's very sad to see. No portless model either. The Lightning port will remain. This is definitely more of an S year this year, a lot more under the hood incremental improvements. And if you're waiting for a bigger design change and Touch ID under the display and stuff like that, that will probably most likely happen next year with the iPhone 13s, 13, 14, the fall 2022 iPhones. Let's leave it at that. Before we continue with our fall event preview, I want to take a quick break and tell you guys about an awesome product from this video's sponsor, Incipio. This is the sustainable grip case available at Verizon. Now, Incipio is known for making some incredible iPhone cases. They've been doing this for years. They are sort of pros in this industry, and their sustainable grip case on my iPhone 12 Pro not only looks great, but it also protected my iPhone from many accidental drops, dings, and scratches. And as the name suggests, this case is really special for a couple of big reasons. The case is actually made with recycled plastic, and the contoured TPE sidewalls not only make the phone comfortable to hold, but also substantially more grippy. Your fingers just sort of naturally fall into place on this contoured textured material on the side of the case. So whether you're taking a photo in portrait mode or watching a video in landscape mode, your phone is much more secured in your hands. But even if the accidental ding, drop, or scratch happens, the sustainable grip case has got you covered with a high-tech, scratch-resistant coating and a 1.7mm raised face bezel, keeping that display safe and secure from scratches or cracks with best-in-class drop protection. It's also got an antibacterial treatment that reduces bacteria by 99%. In addition to all that, you're getting a case that is super sleek, slim, and lightweight. I love how slim this thing is. It's comfortable to hold in the hand. You're getting that extra grippy protection, and also you're getting full access to things like wireless charging and two awesome color options to choose from, a clear option, or my personal favorite, this black color is sleek and is really hard to beat. The sustainable grip case from Incipio is awesome and made with you in mind. It delivers this perfect combination of sleekness, simplicity, comfort, protection, grippiness. I love this sustainable grip case from Incipio. I know you guys will love it as well, and comes with a lifetime warranty also, which is super cool to see. So if you want to learn more and pick one up for yourself, hit that link down below to learn more. Now, despite no significant design changes expected for the iPhone 13, the same cannot be said for the Apple Watch Series 7, because this is the year that the Apple Watch finally gets a much-needed design overhaul. According to renders and rumors, the Apple Watch Series 7 is going to look very similar to the design of the iPad Pro, the iPad Air, the iPhone 13 lineup. It's this industrial design we've seen Apple sort of put across the board. It's boxy edges, it's scored-off corners. If it looks anything like these renders, it's going to look like one beautiful watch, and the Series 7 looks really exciting. Now again, we had heard rumors that were exciting, like under-display Touch ID in the Apple Watch. That doesn't look like it's happening. And also a lot of rumors on this unobtrusive glucose monitor that was supposed to come to the Apple Watch Series 7 as well. We know Apple is definitely pushing health, wellness, fitness with the Apple Watch. And although this looks to be sort of in the labs and under development, it was not ready in prime time for this year on the Series 7. So it doesn't look like it's going to be there. So probably the bigger story here with the Series 7 is a redesign, maybe slimmer bezels around the display, and maybe some minor under the hood improvements like better battery life, better processor, stuff like that. No significant new features expected for this Series 7. Next up, we gotta talk about Macs, because Apple is now halfway through their promised 2-year transition window from Intel over to Apple Silicon, and there are still many Macs that need an update and many big rumored upgrades coming very, very soon. The first, of course, is the one I've been talking about for months, and that is the all-new MacBook Pro. We are, of course, expecting to see this at WWDC. It didn't happen for one reason or another, but now, according to the rumor mill, this device is coming this fall. Of course, to give you a little bit of a refresher, this is going to be a major redesign to the MacBook Pro, hopefully some different looks on the outside, and of course, the reintroduction of ports. You're gonna get a full-size HDMI port on here, a full-size SD card slot, MagSafe charging is finally coming back in one form or another, the touch bar is going away, mini LED displays are coming in, lots of big improvements are coming to the MacBook Pro models this year, and yes, multiple models are expected, a 14-inch model and a 16-inch model, and these should be powered off of the M1X processor, basically the next iteration of the M1. So a lot to look forward to here with this pro-end, pro-focused Apple laptop. The new MacBook Pros are coming with a lot of really exciting features. But that's not all. Apple is also expected to be working on another redesigned Apple laptop as well that could launch this year, and that is the all-new redesigned MacBook Air. Now we got some details from this originally from John Prosser a couple of weeks ago, who showed off some beautiful renders of this new MacBook Air that, if true, this thing just looks downright amazing. Again, it's embracing that boxy corner, squared off edge design that we have with the iPad Pro, iPad Air, iMac. It's the new industrial design that looks really great. We could see some new colors come to the new MacBook Air as well, some USB 4 ports, MagSafe charging. This just looks like a really nice Apple laptop, really giving a nice premium boost to sort of the entry-level Mac. MacBook Air has always sort of been known for that, and this would all be powered off of a slightly tweaked M1 processor that would sort of be a little bit faster than the M1 we have right now. So no word if this would be the M2 or the M1, I don't know, X2, whatever Apple calls it. Right now, we just know it's going to be a slightly tweaked version of the M1 going into this all-new MacBook Air that could potentially launch sometime this fall. And rounding out the list of some other Macs we could see sometime soon is a new Mac Mini and a new Mac Pro. We know Apple is working on a redesigned, pro-focused Mac Mini that should have the same processor as the new MacBook Pro. That looks to be super cool, and the renders for that look amazing. And also, a new Mac Pro is also in the works as well. Well, I guess 2 Mac Pros are potentially in the works. One is sort of this bigger, redesigned powerhouse that runs Apple Silicon, the new Mac Pro for the future. And one is a slightly updated version of the Intel Mac Pro we have right now. And that is it. That is the September event preview for Apple, all the stuff coming this fall. And now is the time for you to answer, what are you most excited to see? Are you just looking for a smaller upgrade, maybe AirPods 3, maybe a new iPhone, you'll be happy? Are you waiting for those all new MacBook Pros? Or are you holding out hope for the Apple Silicon Mac Pro that could come next year? Maybe some kind of surprise to the Intel Mac Pro this year. What are you most excited to see from Apple this fall? What are your thoughts on the iPhone 13 upgrade? Is it worth it? Is it not? Leave all your thoughts down below. We can discuss as always. And that's my cue to sign out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.